Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. And my guest today is Helen Polisi. I'm so excited to have her. We're going to have an exciting discussion. Welcome to the show. Yay!
Let's start with a dance party.
Yeah, that's right. We have to. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Now, let me tell you guys. First of all, Helen, how old are you?
I'm 61 years old.
Yay! And guess where we met? So I'm 53, almost 55, 10, 54 on Sunday. Helen is 60.
61. Yep.
61. Guess where we met? TikTok, people. TikTok. Yes.
Good. It's official. We met on TikTok.
And that's
what I love the most about the platform. There's people that I would have never normally come in contact with. And now I've met this woman from Australia that I'm friends with. And I love that because we've never had the opportunity to meet.
Look at that. It's so amazing. So tell us a little bit about your journey on TikTok.
Okay. Let's start from the beginning. My history, my background is in TV production, and I do production of TV commercials. And when the pandemic hit, and I'm always pretty busy, so I spend time on social media, but I didn't have a ton of time to spend because I was always busy. And when the pandemic hit, I had so much time on my hands, production shut down, and I was never on TikTok, and I heard about it, and I was like, huh. And my daughter kind of egged me on. Let's get on TikTok and we'll do some.
Oh, that's nice.
We'll have dance competitions on TikTok. So that's how I started. And I learned by doing things around my house. And then I decided, I'll share some tips and I'll share some things that I, bake. And I started doing baking videos, and I picked up some traction because I know how to edit. So I know how to present content. So once I figured out what buttons to push on the app to actually make the content, and that's the tricky part, I was able to make really good content, and I started to get some followers, and it was really exciting. It's like a rush when you get a little viral video in the beginning.
Yeah.
So now what I'm doing is that evolved because one of my followers who saw my TikToks, they're like, your TikToks are so great. How did you do that? I said, oh, I'll make you a tutorial. And that's really how I started. And it was not until a year into TikTok that I started making tutorials. And when I did my first one, I exploded, and I knew this is my destiny. This is my TikTok destiny.
So tell the people, how many followers do you currently have on TikTok?
553,000 and change followers.
So you have 500,000 followers, basically.
Yes, I do.
Wow. Okay.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. And I want to share this with you guys. Listen, TikTok is for everyone. You can be out there, because I know sometimes we get looks, like I know I do sometimes when I tell people I'm TikTok, they're like, really? Why?
Oh, because it's the most fun you're ever going to have. That's why.
Thank you. Thank you. You said it so accurately. The most fun you'll ever have. I'm telling you, I don't think there's any social media platform that can even come close.
No, I agree. And this is the other thing about it that I think is important. When you hear a number like 53,000, how do you even post? Don't you get frozen in the camera to think that many people are watching? And this is kind of the most important thing to me. I think that I'm talking to one person, even with all those followers. I know that sounds like crazy talk, but you never know what the algorithm is going to put you in front of. You don't know how many, and then you don't know who's going to receive it well, because it really has to be received well and engaged with before it goes to the next group of followers.
Yes.
TikTok doesn't say, oh, let's send this video out to 553,000 followers. No, it doesn't. It sends it out to maybe 10 or 20, and then 20, 40, and then 40.
Yes.
And you can see how that works. So when you're making a TikTok, even if you think, oh my God, now I have X many people watching. No, you don't. You have a couple of people. Talk to just a person. If you can get that in your head, you will never have a problem being on camera on TikTok.
Yeah. And the thing I love about TikTok is really quick. Like, you don't have much time. Like, boom, you're done. I'm like, yes.
I know. And I don't like the ones that start off like, hi, so I was thinking about something today. Oh my gosh, no, get to the point. Just tell me what you're thinking about.
Let's go.
We don't need an intro. Otherwise I'm swiping.
Thank you. But see, listen, I hope you're getting the tips. If you're on TikTok, these are the things. Engage with them right away.
Yes.
Engage with them right away. Don't make them wait. They don't have time. They'll, like she said, swipe.
Yeah, they'll swipe. And I have a TikTok about how to be comfortable on camera, and that was really well received TikTok, because people do panic, and they think they're talking to a big audience. So I always say, like, don't talk to a group. You're not on stage. Somebody's sitting in their bed watching it on their phone. No one's really in an audience among people watching you. So just talk to that person that's laying in their bed or on their couch or whatever.
Oh,
and if you get that in your mind, you can really get out of your own head. And it's just like freeing to think of it that way.
It is. And I think once you get past that, and this is the thing about doing new things, it's like when you do new things, you grow. So can you imagine you're like, okay, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then you go on video and you do it. It's like, think about all the other things that you can do after that. Seriously, it
It's
seems like so
empowering.
little. It's amazing.
Empowering. To some people, it's like the same when they run a race or, you feel
Yes,
suddenly
true.
empowered. It really is very similar to that. And I can tell you from the comments I get, the people who I've never posted a TikTok until I found your page, and now I have the confidence to post.
Yes.
I
Oh,
almost cry when I get the comments because
I,
I feel like I really did make a difference, even though it's like, okay, it's not a big difference. I didn't cure cancer or whatever, but I've made a difference to somebody who was afraid to do that.
yes.
I
Oh,
love that. I love
I'm
that.
with you on that because sometimes I get messages on my page where people say things like, "Oh, this just made me smile today," and that's enough. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I've done my work. I'm so excited
It's the best.
because you've
Feel
brought,
good.
you've brought happiness and joy to someone's life,
Yes.
So
And
yeah,
the beauty of it is that it's limitless because you could bring joy
yes,
to people in different countries. I have people in the Philippines that contact me and they're like, you are loved in the Philippines. We're going to have a career,
oh
there's things like that. And I'm always like, oh my goodness, I'm reaching these countries that are far away. And they're watching not just my tutorials, they're watching me like run around New York City and
yeah,
hang out with my family because I don't stay hardcore in my niche
yeah,
as much as
exactly,
other TikTokers do. They'll stay in
yeah.
their lane. I don't like to stay in my lane. I got to move out of my lane.
Yes, love it. Shake it up a little bit.
I got a lot of lanes.
You got lots of lanes. Like, okay, I want to go on this lane today, this other lane the next day, and then
So
move
much
back and
fun.
forth. Why not?
Yeah. I never even thought about doing, the outfit transitions on TikTok
Hmm.
well, now I do them. But when I first was doing the tutorials, somebody
Yeah,
said, oh, how does somebody do this? And I was like, well, I have to do it to teach
to
them how to
teach
do it.
someone.
So that was another thing that was very freeing for me because I would not normally, I don't think of myself as a fashionista in any way. So I had to pull things out of my closet, how I
I
want
see that when you drop the thing and boom,
boom,
change.
change clothes. I love it. And the thing is, I would never have done that if I wasn't motivated to teach it. So now I've opened up my zone and I'll do things like the infinity ring light challenge,
Yes, I saw that one. Yes.
and I thought I would never consider doing that if I
How you
wasn't
did
now
it.
motivated to teach it. So it's freeing, very freeing.
Yeah,
Have so much
it
fun.
is.
I love
Oh, love that. So
it.
exciting. So now it looks like you're doing a lot of tutorials. And is it for any level? How does that work?
Well, what I do on TikTok is I have a beginner class. So that was
Mm,
one of the things I decided, and it's $15. It's not like I'm, charging a bunch of money for it, but
mhm,
I decided that I wanted to put it into an organized fashion because I remembered when I started and I didn't know what buttons to push and I didn't know how to put text on.
mm.
Well, I figured it out. I was like, man, there should be like a lesson for this. And I thought, well, I'm the perfect person to make that lesson because I've figured
Yeah,
it out and I can
yeah.
explain. So I did make the course so that a beginner can learn. But
Mm,
on my TikTok page, I tend to focus mostly on the intermediate things. I'll teach
mm.
how to do transitions, head turn
Yeah,
transitions, outfit
that's a big
transitions,
one.
because people
Yeah.
really don't know how to do the next step. Now if you're on TikTok, you might have figured out how to make a video, but you don't know
Yeah.
how to do all these cool things. So
Yes.
I have a tutorial playlist right on my page, and you can go
Oh,
through all
nice.
you can look through all just tutorials and skip all my other stuff and just look at the tutorials. And that's more of an intermediate thing. So,
Wow.
and people will ask me when am I doing an intermediate class? So I am going to do a more hardcore editing class coming up next. So
Oh,
yeah, that'll be good.
nice. Give them what they want.
You got to give the people what they need. They want to create, and I want to help these people
Yeah.
creators. What's really, really nice is that I think older women in particular are very critical of themselves. So we look in the
Sure.
camera, we don't like, this about our face, whatever it is, and I always say, don't apologize for your face. Your face is yours and just embrace it and love it.
Thank you.
I think that's so important. And when a hair and makeup person told me that once on a shoot, like, don't ever apologize for your face. I was like,
Yes.
okay, it's a good lesson. And
Love it.
I want to actually just be real, like age real and not be afraid of it. And
Yes.
not, if I'm in an angle, like I just told you before we
Yeah.
started, I shot a TikTok yesterday. I was like, oh, I think I could have found a better angle on my chin, but whatever. It's double chin central, all the wrinkles on my face. And I'm just going to put it out there. And I
Yeah.
think that if people see that, and that's what I think people are seeing on TikTok, more people just being who they really
Real.
are and not trying to be
Yeah.
perfect and polished. And I
Yeah.
love posting my bloopers when I make mistakes, and then I'll do like
Yeah.
a blooper reel because I think those are fun when I
Yeah.
so I think that's the beauty of being older and being free to not care really.
Yeah.
Care
I
about
love
yourself, but you care less about what people think. And that's,
Yes.
I
And I
love
think
that.
that's important. And I love the fact of just posting things real. Like sometimes, I'll dress up and be on TikTok. Other days I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
no
whatever.
makeup day today. This is me. But people love that, I think, because they see that you're being real. Like sometimes you're this way and sometimes you're that way. I mean, I don't always want to dress up. Sometimes I just want to kind of just chill.
And it's nice to say, oh, I want to look nice. But
Yes.
we are our own worst critic when it comes to looking at ourselves. Because
Yes.
the stuff you see when you look at your own stuff on camera, no one else is really seeing it. And then the
No,
couple of haters that come in and see it, I'm like, power to them. They're really paying close attention to me.
that's right. Like, oh, you got a lot of time on your hands.
You're looking that closely. You noticed that. Good for you. She worked for the FBI or something. Anyway, whatever. We'll let that go. I know, it's true though. Oh my goodness, some of them are crazy. And it
You're
is
right,
hard.
though.
People that can't brush off the haters may struggle at first, but if you put in your mind that the haters are there because they're not happy people, and it really has nothing to do with anything about you.
Yeah.
And I just feel sorry and just move on. I
Yeah.
don't really engage because I feel like that just gives them what they want.
Yeah. You're giving them power. You're giving them ammunition. It's like, nope, I'm
Oh,
not going to give you time of day.
I don't
Moving
even,
on.
I don't even, in the beginning, it's hard because you're like, want to go at someone,
It is, especially when they say some mean things. And, for us that are older on TikTok, we get that from time to time. They can be very mean. But just like you said, don't give them the
Yeah.
time because that's what they want. They want to kind of egg you on and say more things. And you just kind of
Yeah.
push
It's
this
funny
side.
because a lot of times I would take I get like the grandmas teaching me TikTok comment, and I'm like, that's rude. Like, why would somebody say that?
Yeah.
But to them, it's not necessarily rude. That's how they see me. And
Yeah.
so I write back sometimes, not a grandma yet, but thanks. But, I'll forgive you for that one, like I'll just, and they say, oh, mama, so sorry. I didn't mean to, they don't mean it. They
They
just think
don't
I
mean
do.
it.
They don't even mean it as an insult. Only I
I
took it
know.
as
Yeah. You made it mean something else. And they're like, I'm just saying, like, okay.
But no, the beauty of it is I have a very large base of followers that are different
Yes.
ages. They're not necessarily
Nice.
all older. It's like I'm here, and I get millennials that say, "Oh my gosh, did my mom just teach me TikTok? This is amazing," and I love that because I'm like, "Yeah, I sure the hell did."
Yeah. Because you're cool like that.
You know, I'm that girl. As that
That's right. You're that girl.
that new trend. I'm that girl.
Yes, 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 yes. So, I mean, I love what you're doing out there. It's so empowering. And you're showing an example of what's possible for women in our age. Like, you know what? You can do this. You can do this.
Do it. And I will tell you the things that come from it. We didn't even talk about this before we
Yeah.
started, but
Yeah.
things that have come from TikTok for me are very different. Because initially I
Yeah.
was like, I don't really know if I want to focus on getting brand collabs and doing that kind
Yes.
of thing, which I know is coming and I'm okay with
Yes.
that. But I think that I was so nervous about what's going to come from it. And maybe the things that have come up from it for me, I
Yeah.
was, I had a venture capital company approach me about starting a platform around my tutorials to teach
Wow.
older people how to become creators. So, and that's supposed to be really for older people, but in fact, the platform is welcome as anyone. It's called hellosocialize.com. And I'm
Nice.
just beginners things, intermediate things, and show I'm
Wow.
using that not just for TikTok. That covers Instagram, LinkedIn. It covers all types of social media, how to think about social media in your life. And so I'm really loving that. And
Wow.
in addition to that part of the platform, I'm also representing creators that are older creators. I'm going to say older because kind of over 50-ish
Yeah.
creators
Yes.
who are overlooked in the brand collaboration department. Because it's a fact. If I was 30 years old and I had 500,000 followers,
Oh, goodness. You'd be
brands,
making bank. Whew.
right? And meanwhile,
Yes.
I'm an age group where my friends and my followers are spending the money.
That's
And
it.
why are they not coming to me to do valuable brand
I
collaboration?
keep having this conversation with other women. I don't get it. Like
Right. So
brands, if you're listening, you are missing out.
you're
Missing
missing out.
out.
And so what what Socialize is going to do, it's hellosocialize.com, but what it's going to do is represent the creators for
Mhm.
brands, so that if you come to a socialized creator who has a big following and you want to get some brand work done, we're going to guide the work so that it's not just slap it against the wall type content.
Yeah.
really valuable content that's authentic, but it fits with the brand and it does well for your brand. So, and it's
Yes,
also going to talk to the right audience because the people who are
that's
listening
it.
to us are spending the money.
Yeah. And I think that's so important because I hear it from a lot of women our age. They're like, okay, they're targeting me, but they're not using someone who's even in my age group. Like, why? It just, there's a disconnect. Like, why are they doing this?
That's so,
You
it's,
know?
it's so frustrating. You see it again and again, and I hate the word ageism because it just makes me think like I want it to go away, and I want it
Hmm.
to be about your energy. I think there should be like the timeless age,
Yeah.
where
Yes.
like you're not old, you're timeless, and you're as young
Yes.
as
Oh,
you're as youthful as your energy or as old as your energy.
yes.
You choose what that's going to be for yourself, and I
Oh,
hope to embrace that and represent that somehow.
yeah. Oh, I love that. I love the way you just put that. Because, yeah, listen, we might be a certain age, but it's like we still have that energy. We're still vibrant. We're not dead yet. We're not going to be in the shadows. We're not invisible, you know?
The opposite. The opposite. It's like I'm waking up.
I
It's
know,
weird.
right? Like,
It's
let's
like
go.
I have time now to really put into myself more than I did
Mhm.
before. You know, when you have children and you're raising kids or you're in these different phases of your
Yeah.
life, you're putting your energies in those places, whether it's career, whether it's
Yeah.
kids or whatever you do. When you get to this point and you've kind of, I don't want to say arrived because we've never finished.
You never
We're
finish.
always
Yeah, you
evolving,
don't.
but you
Correct.
give yourself freedom to evolve into something else. And it's
Yes.
so relaxing and
Ah.
freeing. So I want to say I thank the pandemic for that as much as, it really helped. It helped me to have time to just go back inside and figure out what it is
Yeah.
that I can do next. And so
Yeah.
it's so
And
good.
and I love that. You know why? Because people always ask me all the time, like, how can I find my purpose or my passion? And I tell them, listen, you have to go inwards. It's not out there. It's inwards.
That's
Yeah.
great advice.
Yeah, it is. It's not out there. It's like it's no.
Do you
Quit
love
pursuing the
cooking?
stuff externally,
Do you
you
love,
know.
I feel, I don't want to flip
Oh,
the script, but I like to ask you a question. Do you
yeah,
love
go
it?
ahead.
What do
Do
you
I
love
love?
about
Oh
coaching?
my goodness. You know what I love? I love being able to share with women like it's like their brain is like doing all these different things and allowing them to realize that they have the power to manage their brain. And once they figure it out, they're like, I never thought about that. I can actually do that. I'm like, yes, you can. And when I start working with them, what really, like really lights me up is a woman could come to me and feel like, I don't know what to do. I just feel like life is just passing me by. And I start to work with them. And you see visibly like the changes. Like you look at their face and they're like, and you see them because I not normally record them, right? And so we go back and look, and even they will say, I don't even recognize myself anymore. It's,
God,
I mean, it's just, it really, I mean, it's so fulfilling. Like now I have goosebumps just talking about
it's
it,
so
just
great.
seeing them. And I make them realize that, listen, this is available to anyone. It's so easy for us to say we want to want. I'm like, are you ready to take that next step?
Oh,
It's like, and once you do it, it's like it changes everything. I have a woman that I'm working with now. I just absolutely love. She started working with me and she was a principal. She started working with me. She didn't know, she was kind of, if the word she used was she felt she was in a dark box. She didn't know what life was, she didn't know what was going to be next. But she said, she was a grandmother, but she's like, I don't want to be a stay-at-home grandmother. I want to do other things. I'm like, and you can. And now she has an Etsy shop. She's selling
oh
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. She created this all on her own.
that's
And she's like,
awesome.
she says, Kwavi, I don't even recognize myself anymore. I'm like, that is the goal.
That is
Because
awesome.
we need to keep, listen, this is who we are as humans. We need to evolve. That's how we are. That is part of, the human experience when you're able to start from one point and then you change for the good. I mean, and then in the process, you're helping other people. Like I tell her, I'm like, can you imagine? Oh, this is the other thing she's doing that I absolutely love. She's going to
Wow.
start a YouTube channel with her granddaughter talking about her t-shirts. I'm like,
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, can you imagine?
No, that's great.
I'm like,
That's such a great feeling.
oh,
It proves that even though you think you're stuck, only your mind is stuck.
it's
The
only
rest
your
of you,
mind.
it's only your
But
mind.
yeah, but people don't know. That's the thing. It's like they've done research, probably if even 10, maybe 8% of people understand this whole process. They just
Mm,
think that life is happening to them, that this is just the way it is. And they'll make statements that they think, oh no, but that's just the way it is. I'm like, do you
no.
realize the labels you're putting on yourself that's preventing you from moving forward? But they don't see it. It's almost like when I watch, I feel like a lot of people are sleepwalking through life. Like, okay, that's just how it is. I'm like, there is so much more.
So much more. And it's just so fun. It's so much fun to embrace what's there
Oh
for
my
you.
goodness.
It's
Yes.
so, yes, it's
And
great.
oh, I could talk about this all day. I love life coaching. And I love this stage because society, unfortunately, has labeled women in this age group as, you're invisible, you no longer matter, you're no longer valuable. So far from the truth. So far from the truth.
Now, do you mind if I ask you one more question? Because I'm an
Go
interviewer. So
ahead.
now I'm curious.
Please.
So
Yes.
why did you start TikTok? And how did that go for
Oh,
you?
so let me tell you, mine was interesting. So in 2019, in October, I had this urge because I love dancing, I love music. So I was like, oh, let me go on TikTok. And I have two teenage boys. And I told them I was going to go on TikTok. And they were like, no, mom, TikTok is for us. It's not for you. And guess what I did? I listened. I didn't go. I was like, okay. And then March 2020, I got this other urge to go on again. This was early on the pandemic. And I said, oh, actually, I know what happened. We went on spring break. And the girls that we went, because we went with my son, his friends, and then went with another family. They had girls. And they were like, oh, Kwavi, come be on our TikTok. I was like, really? I'm like, okay. So I was in their TikTok. And after that, I said, you know what? I want to go on TikTok. I'm like, at least these girls are embracing. They're like, come be on TikTok. My boys, no, like, no. I said, okay. And then I decided, let me go on. And then I told my boys, I'm like, I'm going on TikTok. They're like,
Oh,
Mom,
God.
no, this is for us. It's not for you. And I said, guess what? I'm not playing that game this time. I'm going on TikTok.
Wow.
And so I went on and I loved it. And then my younger son, he's younger, and he was like, I told him, will you dance with me? He's like, oh, okay, and he would do a few. My oldest son said, Mom, no. He's 19. He's like, no. He said, okay, but if you get 10,000 followers, I'll dance with you. I'm like, okay. 3 months later, 10,000 followers.
Boom. I love that.
And he was like, really? Yeah. And so he danced with me, reluctantly, of course, but he did. But it was interesting for me because I had a business when I first started, it was more for fun. And then it's recently I started using it for my business. And now I actually get clients from TikTok, which is kind of interesting. And then just recently, my son, I was telling my oldest son, I was like, okay, so you're going to dance with me again? He's like, when you get to 50,000 followers. And it was interesting because he came home for winter break. And I was probably about 48.7 followers when he mentioned this. So this was like maybe on a Wednesday. Guess what happened? Saturday, 50,000 followers.
Yeah. See, it goes.
He's like, Mom, really?
He thought I was going to get away with it, but he didn't.
He thought it would take a while. He's like, in 3 days? I'm like, you need to be telling me these things more often because I didn't even think I'd get to 50K in like 3 days. But it's so interesting, but it's fun. It's fun. I love it.
I know my children are older because they're, I'm a decade older than you. So when I first started on TikTok, they were like, Mom's going to be TikTok famous in like a few weeks. It's like they called it before. And I was like, you're all crazy, And now who's the laughs on me because they were right. It's really crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they really like it. They think that they already know that I'm crazy because they've lived with me.
Yeah. My kids are my kids think the same way. They're like, okay, Mom. All right. I'm like, but you know what? Listen, would you rather have a mom like this? This is me,
We have to be who we are. Can't hold back.
No, they're like, Mom, you're so extra. I'm like, okay, I take it. I'm good.
I love that.
They're like, no. They're like, no, Mom, being extra is not a good thing. I'm like, I don't care.
I take extra as a compliment any day.
I do any day.
That's great.
Oh my goodness, this was so much fun.
Awesome.
And this is what I'm going to do for those listening. I'm going to post there, the different links for Helen so that you can follow her on TikTok. You need training, you can go on Hello Socialize and get some tutorials. I mean,
yeah. And if you're a beginner and if you're scared, come to the mothership. I welcome you in. There's a class for $15. You can't even buy like a sandwich for that in New York City. So
that's true.
It's really true. It's a sad truth. But you can come, you can learn from the beginning. So you don't have to be scared. You can watch for a little bit, understand how to watch. Really, people don't understand even how to watch TikToks because they're like, why am I getting all these stupid, X, Y, and Z videos? But you have to teach the algorithm how to send you what you want. And people see the first week of TikTok, they're like, why am I getting these videos? And they don't understand that it's how you react to those videos.
Yes, exactly.
So It's a really, and this is all the stuff I explained in the beginner class. And I think
Look,
that's been so nice for me to be able to share that with people and help them, give them confidence. And that's the whole,
yeah.
it's called TikTok, TikTok with confidence, TikTok confidence with the mothership is what it's called.
Yeah. But I love that you brought that up though, because watching TikTok is also, there's an art to it too, because if not, you're going to get the things you don't want. And so I'm glad you covered that in
Don't
your
stop on
program.
anything you're not interested in. Go quickly. You can tap and you can press not interested. I did a TikTok about that. Tap, press not interested.
Yeah.
You need to
Yes.
you need to teach the app how to interact with you. Otherwise, you're going to get stuff that you don't want.
One. Right. Yeah. And that's why, I don't get stuff from my kids because we're not even in the same, that we're not watching the same stuff.
What's really helpful as a TikToker, and maybe this is something you should think about as well,
Yes.
Bob, is
Yes.
when you have a buddy that's a TikToker with you that can say, oh, my daughter and I have different FYP trend, what shows up
Yes,
on our.
of course.
So she sends me trends and she'll say, oh, you should do this trend. Have you seen it? And most of the time, she'll send me things and I'll send her things that we each haven't seen. And so
Interesting.
having like a kind of a network buddy system, if you're trying to figure
Yeah.
out if you're a trend looker for or trying to do trends, it
Yeah.
does help to have a little bit of a buddy system because we all get different
Nice.
things. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It's interesting. The night you said that, my son, you know what he follows? My 19-year-old food.
Yeah,
That's his thing. And the food is big on TikTok. Oh my
I know
goodness.
that.
I
That's
made
how I first
meals from
exploded.
TikTok.
Yeah, baking videos was my first, or my early viral videos.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I evolved. So I'll have to send you some of my early, my early
That'd be so much fun. Yeah. Great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you
was so much fun. I really enjoyed this.
feel
And
the
thank you
same.
all for listening. All right.
Your
Take care.
energy is just off the chart. I love it. Thank you for inviting me. I
You're
enjoyed it.
welcome, Helen. It was so much fun. Take care. All right, everyone. Bye. If you enjoyed listening to the show, you have to take a look at Flourish, my monthly online community for women in their 50s and beyond. We talk about the important issues affecting women in their 50s and over and provide tools and resources to help you live your best life. Join me by clicking the link Flourish Online Community in the About Me section below. I'd love to have you join me. See you there.